He stole it! Meteos with the smite down on Elder. Meteos is back in the LCS.
Energy trying the best they can to turn it around. GBM gets that one.
GBM is an absolute hero in this fight.
TSM, baby. 2-0, predicting it.
What a finish. TSM are going to clean up the series 2-0 to start off this split. Kefo's going nuts as he takes out Matt, gets himself a triple kill, and Echo Fox just turned it all around. Can they stop him? He's gonna get stopped. A great shot by its special. Barrett going through to Apex. They are winning this one.
Envy are looking to win the game right here and right now.
Undefeated in week 1 of the North American LCS.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to day 3 of the North American LCS Summer Split. We've got lots of league action lined up for you as teams continue to adapt to the mid-season update and best-of-3 format. All of our teams have played, and today we'll see if any can distinguish themselves above the rest. Of course, earlier today, CLG arrived at the studio just a short time ago, chatting before they head inside, preparing for their matchup. Playing in the battle arena today is going to be TSM with Bjergsen waving hello to fans, and along with Hanser and new teammate Biofrost making their way into the studio. We have Lorlo and, of course, Moon setting up their peripherals, getting set up on stage. Their match will start in no time at all in the arena. Hello, everyone. I'm James Patterson, and joining me on the analyst desk is a terrible twosome on loan from Liquid, Mark Zimmerman, as well as our very own Sam Kobe Hartman.
That's cold. How about terrible host?
Yeah,
how about that?
Whoa!
How come like everyone else rotates out and James just gets to say is?
Yeah.
I want to see someone
That's
else.
the advantage of being the only one.
He also gets to write all the intros.
I don't have to compete. I don't have to compete for
better.
my spot. But today, you two made it onto the analyst desk. I'm glad to have you. Before we kick off today's discussion, we're going to head inside the battle arena, though, to look at a little bit of CLG taking care of business. And as is a tradition now, starting today, our champions will be unveiling their championship banner that will rest in the studio for all eternity, commemorating their much-deserved victory in the spring split.
Yeah, man. I mean, the Earth theme song coming out as well. This has become.
Hold that, Darshan, get it!
Song. As you can see there as well, this will be CLG's second in a row.
There it is.
We've only ever had teams claim 2 in a row. They're making their way towards number 3 here. Actually, a rocky start for them, losing their first sets.
Yeah, well, that's gonna, if anything, I have to imagine seeing that banner wave in the studio is just more motivation. Gonna keep them hungry for that three-peat, remind them of what they have accomplished, but still what they can accomplish.
I think it's pretty interesting that you only see 3 teams with banners. I wish there was a little bit more diversity. Maybe Team Liquid could get one up there, but
maybe Team Liquid. That's
unbiased.
yeah, totally unbiased.
Wishful
of course.
thinking, or
I just want you to see more diversity. It doesn't have to be Team Liquid, but
well, the thing about Team Liquid, though, if you throw them up there, it's just more blue. There's a lot of blue and white up there on those flags, and we got a lot of blue per face. There you go. Let's switch it up with a little bit of red. Anyway, before we get into our discussion, I want to take some time to remind fans about our switch to a best-of-3 format, and as a result of all the extra games, our move to 2 separate streams. NALCS 1 will be bringing you all the action from the battle arena, while NALCS 2 will play host to all the games being played in the more intimate battle theater. Of course, both streams will share the analyst desk, and there will be spoilers, so consider yourself warned. With that announcement out of the way, though, let's get into it. Yesterday was our second day of play, and now we've seen each of the teams play in a best-of-3 series. Only 2 of our teams have played twice so far, and Team Envy has turned quite a few heads, starting off the split with victories in both of their matches.
yeah, I think it's really interesting. Coming in, I wouldn't have pegged this roster as like one of the 2 teams that's going to go 2-0, or so far have gone 2-0.
Right.
But I am really impressed by them so far. I think I want to see them against better competition. We've seen them no slouches, and the question is how they match up at the very top level of the NALCS.
Yeah, definitely competition is going to be something that comes up. But also, just looking at the individual players and their play in the games, it's very surprising that this is one of the teams that was put together kind of last minute.
Yeah.
And I've been really impressed with specifically, Seraph's growth over his entire time here in North America. And he really seems to be in a very good spot now.
Yeah, I was an OG Seraph hater in a sense. Like that first split where he came in with CLG and he looked, in my opinion, very shaky. So seeing his growth through the challenger scene, come back into the LCS, and start turning some heads.
And of course, now he's dominating that player of the game standings currently. Just for Team Envy, he has been a rock. He's been a leader so far. Of course, besides Envy, given the first round of play, I want to know what other teams may have turned your heads, caught your eye.
For me, it's C9. I think when I heard the 10-man roster idea and I saw that the changes that were made, it really seemed at best like a sideways move. But as you see them play yesterday against Immortals, that was an amazingly close series of games. Every game had a chance for C9 to have a win, and especially that last game, you saw sneaky misposition, which never happens. So that's his one mispositioning for the year, already out of the way.
Never again.
Yeah. We're done with that.
Yeah, not happening
We're watching
again.
you, bro.
Yeah, so I mean, it looks really well, good for them, and I'm sure it's just gonna get better.
Yeah. Also, I was impressed with Meteos. There are a lot of questions. He's been streaming for a long time. What does North American solo queue streaming do to players? And he actually, he came out very strong. He got Baron steals. He had a pretty good individual performance as well. So, yeah, I definitely agree with you on the Cloud9 one. As far as one that really surprised me was Fox as well coming back. Echo Fox. Because everyone's like, yeah, Froggen, he's going to be solid. Keith actually turning a lot of heads preseason. And they're like, oh, yeah, he's doing so well in Korean solo queue. And then he actually came up with some very clean plays as well in the game. But really, their top laner, KFO, this guy, very willing to play carries. That makes it more exciting, and he can play them really well.
I think this is a team that, we didn't get to see at anything close to their real level last season. They had been, not even as a team playing in the LCS for almost half of it, and then they could finally come together kind of last minute when that team was initially put together. No preseason. Here they have a full preseason boot camp in Korea, and you can see the dividends it pays off.
Right, having slid into that 7th place slot last split, they've had the most time away from the screen, so getting to see them play back in week 1 and make some improvements has been quite exciting, despite having only played 2 days so far, though we've seen a wide variety of champions. Lots of priority around some of the tweaked mages in the Vladimir, the Swains, the Zyras, and the like, but also some unexpected picks in the Rivens and the Cassidans that we saw come out yesterday.
Yeah, I feel like this is how it always goes. Is at the start of the season, you see a lot more pocket picks. So you saw the casting, like you said, the Riven, these kinds of things. And then as you move throughout the season, the meta becomes more defined. You have seen some teams not even prioritizing Vlad. So you can see that these little pockets of practice that come up, and the people who aren't prioritizing Vlad, like Immortals apparently doesn't, I'm sure they'll pick that up. That sounds like a Huni champion to me. So, I think it gets more standard the further you go into the season.
Yeah, and it is. We are, this isn't even a new season technically. It's the middle of the season, but we had that big patch.
Yeah, it's huge.
And then there's so many things to figure out. But yeah, the Immortals Cloud9 game, Vladimir goes unpicked, and then every other game where Vlad's in, everybody's crying out, oh my God, this champion's game-changing, it's broken, why can he heal so much?
Yep.
Well, that's what the vampire does. But anyways, the other one that really surprised me actually was the support Zyra pick, because people were expecting Swain. They're like, oh my God, he's got this high win rate. They're definitely going to try and use him, especially people like Quas or anyone who has history on the champion. But the Zyra support, they're first picking it in some of the games. And a lot of these supports, it feels like some of them had a lot of success in scrims, just dealing a bunch of damage as support, and they felt really happy with that.
Right.
Yeah, it's
and
weird.
being able to bring that to the table.
We saw Ashe Zyra yesterday, and it almost makes you long for the old
Defeat
elimination.
Cloud9, the ones who
I know,
were
that's
actually-
what's crazy about it. Is you saw that played into Cloud9. Either way, let's get ourselves a refresh on our current standings. At the top of the table is going to be Team Envy with sole possession of first place. Apex, Echo Fox, and TSM are tied for 2nd. Immortals is in 5th, followed by Cloud9 in 6th. Counterlogic Gaming is tied for 7th with Phoenix 1 and Liquid, while Energy rounds out the league in 10th. But it's still obviously very early in the split, and those standings can swing wildly depending on who wins today. So let's take a look at the competition. Playing in the Battle Arena over on NALCS 1, you'll see Apex continue their freshman LCS week against reigning champs CLG, after which Echo Fox will face off against Cloud9, and then of course in the Battle Theater, TSM and Liquid clash on NALCS 2 stream. Then Immortals and Phoenix 1 take to the stage for the 2nd series. Gentlemen, looking at these 4 matchups that we have today, ones in particular that you're looking at.
I think TL versus TSM. We saw TSM look really sharp against CLG. And I'm a little worried that they're just going to smash TL based off what we saw from them yesterday. So they could be a really rough start for TL and a great start for TSM.
On the flip side, we have CLG, Kobe, after suffering that 0-2 loss to TSM, they're up against Apex. So one would probably consider Apex to be an easier opponent and looking for CLG to prove something to us
Yeah,
today.
easier than TSM, I guess, coming into this, because TSM looked really strong. So CLG, I think they're going to rebound in this game, but they are against EpicSkillshot, the classic historical kryptonite of kind of Logic
CLG
Gaming.
killer, yeah.
And we'll see how EpicSkillshot can do, because he's been performing really well. You know, yesterday he got 2 Player of the Games. So we'll see if he can rack them up against CLG.
Right, they 2-0'd themselves yesterday, so they're going to be confident coming in today's matches. Well, with all that, the teams are set, so it's time now to hand it off to our casters for the call.